Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. I am back. If you were just on with me a few minutes ago, I had an outage there. I think that warning that came up was I was starting to lose bandwidth or something. So there you have it. Sorry about that. Welcome to Horse Racing Manager. This is a live stream of the game from Sheep Meadow Road Games out of Norway, and it released yesterday, Friday, on Steam. The game was supposed to release a few weeks ago, and they ran into some problems where Steam couldn't get it vetted in time to get it up. And then there was Next Fest, and they didn't want to mess with that, so they waited until yesterday, and the game is finally out. I did a video on the game, a first impression, from about 3 weeks ago. It's in my Show Me playlist, Show Me Games, and that particular version of the game was 0.4.8, I think was it. This is 6.1. It was 6.0 last night. Now it's 6.1. And they are making tremendous strides forward in the balance of the game and just the quality of it. I'll talk about some of those things. I also did try to live stream last night, and I didn't have a connectivity issue. I had a sound issue. So we'll be removing that video just because the sound it started bad and it never got all that much better. Today should be much, much better. I think we got that problem figured out. And I do apologize for that. I don't think we'll go as long as we did last night, but we are going to go ahead and start showing off the basics of the game, show the bones of it, I guess. I did say in my video from 3 weeks ago that I liked the bones of the game. I thought it had some refining that needed to be done. And they have done a ton of refining. I'm very, very impressed with where things stand today. All right, so we're going to try to do this right. I'm going to create a completely different character name so I don't mess up any saves that I might already have. So we're going to go with this guy. It's a name that I have picked from EVE Online, I think is where I first used that game, and I don't have any idea why I went with it, but there you have it. And we're going to go with male, and I do like to set a particular special date, and we'll go with that and set that up. There we go. Now we could also generate random, and it would just kind of pick stuff, but this will work for us. We will move through these tabs as we continue through, so let's just show what this is. First of all, there's 3 scenarios to start. You've got the homeless Hail Mary. You're the hardest worker in the room and you're not afraid to fail. You start with close to no money is what that is. We're going to do this one, middle class job. There's also the silver spoon is what I like to call that one. And all I think this impacts is the starting condition of your bank account. We're going to go with the middle guy. And I think that will give us a modest amount of money that we can bet on races with. I don't really intend to bet on races, so it's not terribly important to me. I think long-term, the game expects that there will be other things that you'll be able to do with your personal money versus the stables money. And I don't have specifics on that other than just some implications that were in some of the documentation and some of the videos that I saw. All right, well, this is our guy, and we can re-roll him, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to roll until I have decent leadership and negotiation. And yeah, I kind of min-maxing here a little bit, but you could also just set them. You can literally custom, and then you set them to whatever you want. I'm willing to risk it just a little. There we go. I think I like that one. He's got some decent skills. Leadership, negotiation, jockey are probably the most important to start. As of the previous iteration of the game that I played, several of these weren't really impactful yet. I don't know what they've really turned on or not at this point. So we're going to go to next, and that'll take us to the looks. Here we get to pick what we look like, and they have a nice little variety of what you can set up. Of course, if you choose to be female, it will have slightly different images, of course. Rest assured that that is the case. All right, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get to one, and we're going to get rid of that and that. No, I want to go the other way, don't I? Yeah, that's what I want to do. And we'll go with that. And the hair color, I'm going to lighten that up. Actually, we're going to get rid of the hair altogether because, is it this way? It's that way, because we're going to wear a hat. I prefer the hat, guys. And then we're also going to get rid of the glasses. No, we're going to wear those. Much, much better. We'll try to be some sort of everyman, right? That looks like a sweatshirt or a hoodie almost. I think I like that. Well, that's not really what I meant to do. I was going to click this one and just kind of get somewhere more neutral. And there we go. Okay. That is like looking in a mirror. All right. So next up, race type. They added harness racing. I haven't tried it yet. I almost thought about going ahead and going for it here. Not going to today, though. Maybe in the future we'll take a peek at that. We're going to go with flat racing. And there you go. We're going to go with a normal sized world. We can also set some play options here. I'm just going to leave the defaults alone. There's plenty of things to change here. Actually, in my personal play, I did turn this one down. This is the range of money the other stables can start with. So it can be anywhere from $1 million up to $50 million. I'm changing it to 30 million. We're going to make it 30 million. So the really affluent stables won't be in the 40s and up to 50. They'll max out at 30 million, and that's pretty good. The game simulates 180 days of time before you actually start playing. It does take some time for it to do that. We'll leave that alone, but if you wanted to have a rich history of horses and lineage, I think you bump that out and you can start to see that happen. Let's just go ahead and go next. We did pick normal, I believe, and that was my intent for size. Feels like if you watched the previous video that I did a couple of weeks ago, the size felt a little weird. It didn't feel like there was enough happening. They fixed that. It's much better. So we'll go ahead and go with normal, the normal size for now. We're going to name our stable Show Me Stables. And our starting cash, because I want to show off some of the features, we're going to start with 15 million. And once again, I want to make sure that, that is million, not 150 million. We're not going to start with any horses. You can also pick what automatically gets done for you as the game goes on. I'm going to only set up the automatic training. That means the trainer will set what happens for any particular horse and their regimen, and the automatic scouting. I don't mind my scouts going out and finding horses to look at on their own. Pretty much want to handle the rest of this myself, though. I want to handle the rest of this myself, and we're going to go ahead and start the game. Now, it generates, as you can see, 1,500 horses, 2,000 people, and it does 180 days of history. So there's a little bit that goes into this, but we will see the results here in just a few moments. What else can we say about it at this point? I'm not really sure. Optimization. Yeah. So my first time playing this and doing a medium-sized world in the previous playthrough, it took quite a bit of time for it to generate this world. That's not a factor right now. It is getting that done very, very quickly comparatively. And then there were other spots where the game felt like it took a little longer than you would like for it to get done with something. And I'm not seeing that. It's like after finishing a race, it could take 10, 15 seconds to move on to the next screen for you. Completely gone. They've done a lot of optimization. Game has worked real well. Also, I mentioned in my previous video that I had significant, let's not call it significant. I had crashes while I was playing it. I had probably getting a little more than an hour of gameplay between crashes on average. The good news about that was the crashes were not fatal. It would dump out, but it had saved the game. I didn't lose any playtime in the game. It would crash out, but it had saved, and so I could just reload. So really the loss was the time taken to reload the game, and that is irritating. You certainly don't want to see that long term, but for now it seems to be working out okay. And I've only had one crash since loading up 6.0. I guess that would have been 2 nights ago that I grabbed that. I can't quite remember when I saw 6.0 come up, but when I grabbed it, I've had exactly one crash in playing it for the last couple of days. And again, all the data was there when I came back in. It just seemed to have a hiccup, and it exited out after save. So with all that said, where do we start? Let's talk about what all this is. First of all, this is our stable. Looks like they're set up to have multiple stables that you can run. It's not quite ready for prime time yet is what it looks like. I think I read that on something, or maybe saw it in one of their videos, that they were talking about you could run more than one stable. We have, this is my pocketbook, $150,000. I'm not going to really be tapping into that too much just yet. You can transfer money between you and your stable. This is the stable's bank account, 15 million. This is the date, December 27th. This is a very powerful search tool. We can come in here and we can search for pretty much anything that is an object in the game, like show me stables. We would be able to go and look that up. And let's see what else. We could search for a specific horse, maybe. Meadow. Okay, so these symbols represent horses. These are each a horse with the word meadow or med in its name. There you have it. It's a very good search engine. If you need to find anything, you can. Your browser buttons on your mouse, like forward and backward, they work in the game. This is forward, backward, and you can also use these to do that as well. That's really what this part of the bar does. Then we have game settings. We could certainly mess with that if we want. Not going to just yet. Actually, I am going to do one thing. Okay, there we go. Wanted to turn, yeah, I think it'll be okay. So let's go back to continue. There we go. And let's see. So that was this. All right. So this is how you advance the game. Today is the 27th, and I could advance to the next day. This determines how far you advance. It's a drop down. You can go to the next event that you have scheduled. I don't have any events scheduled, so its default is it'll go to the next day. You can also select world events. The next thing in the world to happen is going to be an auction, and it will go to that day if we ask it to. The next birth, you can go to the next day, which is, the other default. We could go to the next week. We could go to the next month. And that's actually what I want to do. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to do 30 days or if it's going to do 4 days. I want it to go forward 4 days. So I'm going to go ahead and try this. Hopefully it ends up being January 1st. Nope, it did 30 days. So I stopped it so that it would come back. There we go. And it is January 2nd. So pretty close. We almost nailed it down. The reason I wanted to do that is I want to start in 2025. And there's a couple of reasons for that. I'm not going to bore you with them. We're going to delete all this mail. This is our mail coming in. By the way, Kara Henry is our intern. She helps us with our mail. She keeps us on task. She does a great job. These are all the awards that were won by other stables last year and which horses were the best and things like that. I want to kind of come into this blind. I don't really need this information this year. Maybe next year it'll be important, but this year it's kind of noise to me. So we're going to skip right over that. I am going to set this to next event because I want it to do whatever we're going to next. The first thing we're going to do is build out our facility. We're going to click here on facilities and we have this nice graphic. This is relatively new to me as of a couple of days ago, and I love it. A lot of games in this genre do exactly this, and as you add things, it'll put in some sprites where they go, and that's fantastic. I am so on board with that. Now, part of the reason I took the extra $5 million is so we could just get the facility building out of the way. I'm going to put in all the things that you basically need to run your stable at its core, and we're just going to march right through here. Breeding facility. Well, we are going to eventually breed horses, so we're going to build that. And here it is. Look at that. So we can get rid of that, and then we can go to food and nutrients. And we'll build that. It's going to put it right here. There it is. And then we're going to go to finance. I'm actually not going to build a finance office. I don't want to have to deal with this just yet. This is if you need to take out a loan, things like that. Market research. We'll go ahead and build this. I don't know if it does anything on screen. Yeah, I didn't see anything there. This gives you better scouting. It allows you to set a scouting budget, things like that. I'm pretty sure that's what that one does. And global marketing, which costs $12 million, which we could afford now, but that would wreck us, would give you more international. Oh, it's not implemented, so we're not even going to bother. Never mind. Not even going to talk to it. Medical. The good news is your buildings build immediately, so we don't need to build a medical area until we need one. So we're going to hold off on that. Stables. Well, we have the base stable that we started with, and we can build extra stables, and you can build up to 500. So it sounds to me like each stable holds a horse. That's my guess. I don't know how many you start with this one. It doesn't give you any indication of that. So I'm going to go ahead and just build 5 of these for now. I'm going to assume this one starts where you can hold 5 horses. There are 5 doors here, and so maybe that makes some sense. So maybe we can do up to 10 horses. I don't know that I've seen where it gives you a warning if you're over or anything like that. With that said, I haven't tried in a while, so I don't know if that's something that's changed. I do want to also build the paddock, and that's this one right here. Tosses that in there. Thank you very much. We'll hold off on the equine sauna, but I do want to build the staff office. I want my staff to have somewhere to go. I didn't see anything show up for that either. And we're okay on security system, not worrying about that. And finally, training area. We're going to build the training area. It gives us a little track. Clearly they're in Europe because he's going clockwise. Here in the States, we go counterclockwise. We're also going to build the full training area, because if we have a full, we want it to be able to be trained right away. I don't want to forget to do this and then, damage its potential. And I didn't see anything happen on screen for that one either. We can do conditioning in a low impact pool. We're going to hold off on that. I don't find that to be necessary right off the bat. Okay, we have built our facility. Eventually we will need to hire some staff, but since we don't have any horses, we don't need any staff yet. So let's get some horses. We're going to go to the market. This is an updated screen from the previous iteration of the game from a few weeks ago. Initially, you just came into this guy right here and you kind of had to guess what you were doing. But here, these are horses that we could just buy outright right now. This one has a lot of potential, a lot of ability. He's a stallion. He's a little older. He'd cost us $1.1 million. I am highly tempted to go ahead and buy this horse, if I'm being honest. That's not bad at all. You'll notice that these are lit up a little differently than these over here, and that is because I think that's 2-year-olds. The 2-year-olds can race, so I'm not sure. We can also look at his details, and his details, we don't know exactly how fast he is. We have an idea of the range of where he would fall. We do have a good amount of information on him, though, so that doesn't look too bad. With that said, he hasn't run well lately. He ran 8th. And his last race, he was outside the top 10, which is what the O means. And that's it for past results. So we don't know a whole lot about him. We're going to go ahead and go back. Instead of going after that, we're going to go to an auction. These are the auctions that are effectively coming up next. But we can also go to the upcoming auctions and be a little more selective. Well, look at that. Stallion auction today. We want to do that. We're going to click here and we're going to say participate in this auction. And you'll notice this stuff up here changed because now there's an auction to go to because it is today. Before we do that, a couple of other points. The NA means there are no horses in that auction right now. So if you go to it, nothing will happen. In fact, it doesn't even take you to a screen that tells you nothing's happening. It can be a little confusing. So avoid that. Let's go to this mixed in a week. And let's go to this mixed in 2 weeks. These numbers are fantastic, by the way. As mentioned at the start of this video, I had started and then I had a connection issue and restarted. In the previous playthrough that we were doing in that one, none of these were above 45%, which was kind of amazing. I hadn't seen that before. They were all low. Also, the names are generated randomly with your world each time. And so I kind of like that. The names are a little long for the field. That might be something to work on, but in general, I do like that you get a brand new world every time. You don't have to rely on your memory of which one did what, because it's going to be different this time. I do want to potentially get a couple of mares as well. We could look at this. Reserve bid, no reserve bid. We could look at their details. Not amazing horses, but not horrible. This one, much better in speed. I think we probably would want to look at that one. So we'll go ahead and go to that auction as well. And it's possible we'll pick one up at one of the mixed. So that's something else to consider. But beyond that, maybe we go one more. Wow, there aren't any more until a month from now. We'll go ahead and go to this one. There we go. All right, so we have auctions to go to now. That is great. Let's go back to our home screen. And so as I mentioned, next event will take you to your next event. And it so happens that we signed up for an auction today. So we want to say go to auction. I love the auction. The auction is fun. We'll see that here in just a minute. What I want to do, I want to buy a high quality horse that's going to win some races for me. So we're going to click here, find the max ability, and we're going to find the max ability horses. These are all stallions. Don't forget. Now, if we just wanted to grab a horse for breeding, this one probably isn't so bad. Let's click on him. Well, okay, he's not great either, but he does have a good max ability. We don't know a lot of specifics about him. Probably would want to skip him because these would be the maximum of what his abilities in each of those fields would be. Health risk, you want it to be lower, not higher. Temperament, generally you want it to be lower, not higher. Easier to work with the horse. Okay, clicking the horse a second time makes that window go away. And what we're going to do is click on the ones we want to actively bid on. I was looking at him because his price is right. He's a approximate value. This is what he should go for roughly. He's got a pretty low buyout, but the age, he won't race much. It feels to me like once they hit 6 years old, they're kind of downhill from there in this particular game. We want younger horses where possible. These are all much, much older horses. This is really the only one that we might want to take a serious swing at. Let's take a look at that one. All middling numbers, so I like that. I like this horse. Let's go ahead and mark that one as yes, we want to look at him. That's Symbolist. Click on him again to make that screen go away. Are there any other 4 or 5 year olds? Here's Unicorn Brutus, Thoroughbred. A little bit scattered over the board, but maybe not the worst thing to deal with. So we'll take a look at him in the auction as well. There he is. There's a 3-year-old here. 3-year-old Arabian. Probably worth taking a peek. Really high health risk. I'd probably skip on that for now. And let's see what else we can find. Anything else? I'm not seeing any other low numbers here. So 5-year-old. Great strength. Strength comes into things like snow or mud. Strength becomes an important factor. Not gonna pursue this one right now though. Wrong horse. There we go. All right, so we're going to bid on 2 horses, and what we will do is say participate in auction. This is maybe my favorite part of the game, honestly. I love this guy. He could be from Missouri, based on his voice.
Hey, how about another bid? Yes, sir. A bold move from our bidder. Yep. New bid on the floor.
We're going to put in a strong bid. Wow, he's going way up.
Hey, twice last chance.
I'm going to bid 8,000 more. I think I'm willing to go up to 850.
Up, the advancement in the bidding. Shrewd move. Bid more ends with a buyout. Second and going twice. Hey,
yeah, I don't think that was accurate. He said it ended with a buyout. It didn't end with a buyout. There's a couple of times it'll say the horse didn't sell, and it did sell. So do keep that in mind. I think they got a couple of things they need to work on there, but all right. It's a pretty horse. And because that's what the important thing is. You only bid on the pretty ones, right? Okay. Wow, he's really jumping up there in price. And not a lot of potential there. So we're gonna hold off. We're gonna skip. And that'll end the auction for us because there were no other horses we were looking at. Now that we have a horse, which we will see here when we come back out, and we will go to our mail, and a quality investment has been made as Unicorn Brutus changes hands. Yep. There we go. Was that the horse we bought? I don't think it was, but okay. Not going to worry about it. I feel like that might be off. Nonetheless, let's take a peek at him. There we go. This is Unicorn Brutus. I have my images mixed up, I think. I thought this was the second horse. Nonetheless, we got the horse we got. He has extremely low intelligence. That's not fun. But this is the horse, and because we have a horse, we now can get some staff. Well, we could have gotten staff anyway. What I wanted to have was the ability to auto hire, but we probably should go ahead and go through the process. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to come in here. Now, these are scouts that are working for somebody, and at least most of them are. There could be some in here that are unemployed, but these are generally folks that are working for other stables, and you have to usually pay a premium to hire them. We're going to go ahead and just worry about the unemployed ones. So I clicked that, and here we go. First up, we need a head trainer. So we're going to click head trainer, and we're going to basically hire the best person we can, and that is Bridget. So Bridget is the best head trainer. Actually, who's the best trainer? Talia is the best trainer. Let's go with Bridget for best head trainer. For head trainer, that's what we're looking at. We're going to go to work, and we're going to offer her a contract as our head trainer and negotiate. These folks will tend to be kind of expensive, and just be mindful of that. You can automatically meet their demands by hitting autofill. We can also try to negotiate to make a deal with them. For instance, I can say, I'm willing to offer you a base salary of $150,000, and that 50% chance she would take the job on that. But I'm also going to offer you a performance bonus of $12,000. Didn't make any difference there. I'm going to offer healthcare benefits of $4,000. Didn't make a difference. I'm going to offer a sign-on bonus of $15,000. And they will, oops, that's 150. No, I didn't mean to do 150,000, 15,000. So that jumped the deal up about 30 percentage points. Good chance we can hire Bridget at this point. I'm going to say make the deal. And they took the job. So we have hired our head trainer. Next up, we're going to hire the trainer. So we can back out of this screen, and we'll go to trainer skill. And we're going to hire Talia. Now, it did not update Bridget as being unavailable. She's working for us now. And we're going to come in here and hire Talia as the trainer. You'll notice Talia wants a lot more money. And that's kind of interesting, but I guess to be expected. So we're going to say base salary of, let's start at $210,000. 81% chance she just takes that. I think we give that a try. She took it. Okay. If she didn't take it, we could sweeten the deal, is what it comes down to. And since she took it at 80% chance of it happening, I was going to swallow that right up. So there we go. Next, let's look at jockeys. Jockeys appear to be very, very important in the game, and they are also extremely expensive. Let's go with Raquel first. Have a good feeling here with Raquel. So her jockeyship is very, very good. Mental, yeah, good with working with young horses. Liking all of that. We're going to come in here, negotiate. She wants almost $1 million, and that is what I'm seeing, is the jockeys are very, very expensive, particularly the better ones. Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pay it. I think I'm going to start with $800,000. That gets us to 50% chance she'd take the job. Let's give her a performance bonus of $50,000. You know what? Let's make it 80,000. And that bumps that number way, way, way up. So I think we'll go ahead and try it. She didn't take the deal. So let's offer a sign-on bonus of $10,000. That bumped it up a little bit. She took the deal. There we go. We have a jockey. Next up, so I think those are the most important ones. Actually, stable hand is important too. And you'll notice there aren't great stable hands at this point. So what we will do is we're going to go ahead and back out to the overview, and we're going to have it auto hire everybody else. There we go. It auto hired our staff. And now if we come back in here, we are staffed up. We have all the staff we need. Outstanding. So now next we're going to go look at our stable. We have our one horse, Unicorn Brutus, and we can change this name if we choose. I think we'll go ahead and do that just to demonstrate it. So you double click on the horse and it brings you to this screen. You have all these tabs here that give you different information. First thing we're going to do is go to options. We're going to change Unicorn Brutus to Bruno Uno. I don't know. I just made it up. My roommate in college was nicknamed Bruno. So there you have it. We can also give him a barn name. And so what this is, think of Secretariat. Probably the world's most famous horse, right? Secretariat's official name was Secretariat. They called Secretariat Big Red. So that's what this is referring to. We might have a completely different name because official horse names have to be unique. right? Big Red was already taken. That's why they couldn't name him that. So there you have it. There's other options here, like giving them blinkers, things like that. And I assume these have effects on things. We're not going to worry about that just yet. I'd like to know more about that myself before I start messing with that. Instead, we're going to go to this training tab. So we've seen the information tab, past results, upcoming races, probably makes some sense. Pedigree is its parentage. And because the game started when it did, we don't have any information on that. So we're going to go ahead and just go to training. Here, we assign the trainer. It does allow you to assign the head trainer now. I don't think it did that before. That's why there's 2 names in here. Okay, so we're going to assign Talia. And eventually, Talia may change the current focus and the effort. We're going to assign Raquel as the standard jockey, and we'll assign Wyatt as our stable hand. With this being the only horse we have, we can come back in here, and when we go back to the training tab, you'll notice that all stuck. But Talia has to say about the horse now. I can squeeze a little bit more out of the performances, but we're approaching their genetic ceiling. Raquel says we're working on our partnership. Well, they haven't even raced yet, so that's kind of expected. And the horse seems a little subdued today, might need to adjust their routines. So Wyatt should be adjusting this as necessary to impact the horse, is my understanding. And yeah, there you have it. One other thing we can do is go to scouting. Let's set our scouting budget to, I was going to try about 50,000, but I don't. Oh, yes, that's right. You can set it specifically over here. Okay, why did it do that? 50000. It wants to make that 100,000 when you do that. Wonder if I can make it, let's make it 20,000. We'll spend 20,000 a month on scouting horses. There we go. Now, when we come back to this horse in its information window, we can assign our scout, Ptolemy, and he'll start getting more information on this. You notice here's where the knowledge is on the horse. We should narrow these bands down as we get more knowledge on the horse. And that's really the plan there. Okay, so what next? Well, we have a horse. We have some staff. What do we do with the horse? We're going to race the horse, right? So we're going to click on races. And these are the recommended races for this particular horse. We're going to skip past that. This is one of the newer screens. Haven't used it a whole lot. This is what we used to get, and I kind of like this one because it's easy to see a lot of stuff at once. First of all, it would list all of our horses, and that is important. Some of the things we see here, he likes 9 furlong races. I think the I means intermediate. The length seems to be like short, medium, intermediate, long, and extreme or something like that. I'm not sure. But there's letters that'll go with the numbers, and they always line up. So I think that's what that's a secondary reference to. We can see he hasn't raced for 3 months and he has nothing scheduled. So we're going to click on Bruno. These are all the races we could register him. But you'll notice the distance isn't right for some of them for him, right? He likes 9 furlong races. So let's go ahead and pick this 9 furlong race. It'll cost $941 to enter. There's a $90,000 prize. What do we call that? Yeah. That's the amount of prize money available. And about half of that is what would go to the winner. So he's racing for $45,000 and places 1 through 5 pay out. We'll go ahead and say register. He is now registered. And you'll notice it says days until race 3. You'll also notice that this had said next auction before we clicked it. Like that, and when we clicked it, it went to next race, because instead of an auction being further out, it's okay. This tells us our next race is in 3 days. Our next auction is in a week. That's what this is indicating. Fair enough. Let's go home, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to fast forward to the next race. It should just be 3 days. 1, 2, 3. There it is. That was fast. Staff poaching offer. Okay, this wasn't working last night, and the new build 6.1 looks like maybe it is working. So our jockey is being offered $1 million, $200,000 more than we're paying them right now. We have the option to match that offer or to let them go. Well, I want to keep this jockey, so we're going to match the offer. Yeah, there you go. So we just paid another $200,000 in salaries, but it's okay. The money will get paid out over time, and we will keep that particular person now. So we're good to go. I don't know if I click it again. Yeah, I'd rather it not keep saying that, but that's okay. And we're going to delete the message. We're going to go to the race. You'll notice that we don't have any other races scheduled now. There's no race coming up here. And the auction is in 4 days. So the next button would take us to the next auction. We're first going to go to our race. And there can be several races in a day, as you might imagine. That typically is what happens at a racetrack, right? I think at our local one, it's usually 8, 10, or 12, I think, are the number of races they might have in a day, depending on when their day is starting. And we generally don't want to watch all the races, right? I want to watch the race of my horse. So I can do the skip to my race, which is 5 races from now. I'm going to click that, simulate at the other races, just like you would expect. And in this race, we should see at the bottom, there is Bruno Uno. Bruno Uno is in the 15th gate, which is outstanding, right? And he's ready to go. So we do have some other options here now. We have view race, which is what we're going to end up doing. But since we have a horse in this race, we could actually control the horse. I'm going to hold off on that for now. I'm going to let them do it. Maybe later in this live stream, I might try running a horse or two and showing you how that works. But for now, we're just going to let it take care of it. We could just sim the race outright and see what the results are. What fun is that? Or we could just skip ahead, which would also sim the race. Let's view it. I do like watching these. I try not to skip them. You want to click on your horse over here, at least the horse you want to watch, and then we will see them going. He did not get a great break. He's horse number 9. So he'll stay in the middle of the screen here since we're focused on him. He's actually doing really well, though, and you'll see he has 59% stamina left. He's probably going to end up winning this race. So right now, the races are somewhat predictable. The stamina fall off really tells you who's going to win. And you notice this horse is pulling away, but he's almost out of stamina. We've still got quite a reserve. We're going to just suddenly pass him. He's going to have to slow down, or he's going to hit his max and just stop. That looks like that's what they're going to do to him. And so when he hits 0, he should just kind of back up to us. And there you can see he's closing quite a bit. We're going to pass him here at the halfway point. And we're just pulling away. You'll notice we're almost a full furlong ahead of everybody else other than him, and he's just falling back like a rock. And this is just going to continue. We still have plenty of energy and stamina. We picked a good horse here. At least we picked a good race for this horse anyway. I'm going to go ahead and hit fast. There's 3 furlongs left. It'll go much, much faster when we do this. 2, 1, and then as we get down close to the very end, there's the final gate, and there he goes. We won our first race. Okay, last night I didn't win money for about 15 races, I think. Just to be clear that it isn't just a gimme that you win every race. The quality of the horse is a big deal, and I was maybe buying slightly lower end horses last night when I was giving this a try, but this is a fantastic result. I'm pleased with this. So we'll go ahead and hit continue. From when you would hit continue in the previous iteration till now, this was like 10 to 15 seconds would go by. At least for me, that was the case. You saw how fast that is. They've clearly done some optimization. So happy to see that. And we won $45,000, half the purse. Purse, that's the word I was looking for earlier, purse. And Bruno ran it in 100 seconds. Yeah, there you go. That's awesome. That's everything we need to know. Yes, except the trainer, actually in this case the head trainer, couldn't be happier with how Bruno ran. Everything went perfectly for us. We'll look for another suitable race soon. Yes, we will. And the jockey gave me a dream ride. He had a clear run throughout, broke alertly, and showed early speed. All good stuff, all good stuff. So we're going to say continue. And it will continue to allow you to go through more races. We could watch the next race if we want. You'll notice we don't have take reins at this point, and that's because we don't have a horse in this one. I'm going to go ahead and skip to the end, and we're just going to bounce out to here. And We can just click next message. It'll take us to email, or we can click here to get to email. And that now says next auction, you'll notice. But it basically is a recap. Here's the race. Hey, you won. Congratulations. We're going to say okay to that. We're going to go to the stable. We're going to look at Bruno. And if we look at past races, we will now see he finished in position 1. He won 45,000. He'd already won 7, so he's now up to 52,000 in career earnings. And I think we see that here. Yep, there it is. 52,000 in career earnings for this horse. That's fantastic. Okay, we've got more auctions to go to. So again, to advance to the next thing in your world, you just say next event, and then you can click here and it'll go to it. I want to go to the next auction. I don't know how far out it is. I do want to do one other thing first. I want to go to races, and I do want to go ahead and schedule his next race if there is one that's in a reasonable amount of time. You do not see all the races for the year. I don't know how far out it goes. It looks like maybe 2 months, 3 months, like on the outside edge. So it's, I guess it is 3 months that it's going out. The condition of the horse, he should slowly improve. He's in the good zone age-wise, being 4. We could race him. Well, you can you can race him anytime. I would like to wait for him to be as close to 100% as possible, but I also don't want to wait 3 months. So we're going to look at one of these races a little further down here, maybe one that's $100,000 in prize money. Maybe not, if there isn't one that's in that range right here. Yeah, 4 furlongs though. So we're probably looking at one of these. Looks like it's the same race. That's kind of weird. Different entry price. I guess it's same track, 2 different race numbers is what that probably would come down to. By the way, he's rated now because he won that race. I don't think he was rated before. He's now a DG3. That's the lowest of the 3 grades. And I say that's the lowest of the DG grades. I think you can get a G rating as well. What we can do to kind of limit this list is we can say show horse preferred races, and it will only show us the 9 furlong races. And from here, we can pick the one that we like the most. Well, I think I wouldn't mind trying this one in a month. Let's see how he does on a month's rest. So, and this one has a little bit lower end competition. I'm kind of okay with that for now. If you look at his ability, he's at 1.5 stars. So let's race him in this one. There we go. He is registered. And you'll notice days till next race, 1 month. It popped up for us. Now we're going to go to that auction. That auction's probably it's in 4 days. Next race, 1 month. Next auction, 4 days. Those are your major events. Birth of a horse is another one that will come up eventually. Okay, this is the mares. And not great options for the mares. The 7-year-old might be the better horse to pick up because we're looking more at their opportunity to be a mother, right? To breed the horse. We would want to breed them with another horse, and we'll see how that works. Basically, you get new numbers for your new horse is what will happen. We can look at Outlaw here. Definitely big difference in quality. Health risk on that one is very low. Health risk on this one is high. I don't know if this is age driven. That is something to consider. It could be a factor of age. I think we're going to go ahead and bid on the first one. Trying to decide if we want to bid on Outlaw as well. Maybe just to have the horse and see what a lower end horse, what the competition looks like for them. I definitely don't want to be spending $700,000 on this horse, though. I will say that. I don't feel like they qualify for that treatment, at least not from us. We'll go ahead and bid on both of them, though. We'll click here. There he is. Snapple Trusting. I like Snapple Trusting. This is the horse I really want. And it's up to $200,000. I'm going to jump that by $60,000. Hopefully the idea is there you bid stronger, it drops people out. They're like, oh, he really wants it. He won't stay in this. But there we go. Is there a buyout? There is no buyout. It would show up down here. Up to $500,000.
Hey, come on. This will eat less than your dog, folks. Come on. Oh, raise it now. Secure greatness. Yep. A bold move from that bidder. Who among you can take it higher? Who's ready to advance? Going twice?
I think we got it. Anytime I've gotten to going twice, I've won the horse.
So,
There we go. Okay, I actually paid a little less than I thought I would for that, even though it was outside of her value. Here comes the next.
this specimen's found its new home.
This one we're not spending that much on.
New bid on the floor. Yep. New bid on the floor.
That's going to be it for me. I think it's going to go for more than that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there it
Bold
goes.
move from our bidder.
So one thing we could do is watch this horse later. I have to remember its name now because I didn't mark it already. But you can mark the horses and bookmark them and come back to them, things like that. Might be neat to do that and kind of get a better understanding of how
Up the advancement
efficient the ability and potential numbers are for
I
horses.
know we got a lot of interest at this
This
level,
one's
but
really
I think
going
our
higher
bid
than I
for
thought
our
it would. I'm going to go ahead and skip the rest of the auction. It's about sold. That's going to do it.
And there you have it. We're all in, all done, and we start a new chapter.
Start a new
Speed
chapter.
and stamina combined in this prospect.
All right, there we go. We now have 2 horses. Fantastic. And we're going to go to our new horse. We're going to go to training. We're going to get them assigned their trainer, the jockey, the stable hand, and that gets them started here. I am okay with the name. I'm not going to change the name or anything like that. Their career earnings are $32,000. It shows up right here. And we know what we need to know about this one. Come out here. The horse seems a little subdued today. Still looks subdued. That's okay. We can give that a little time. But let's go to races. We know we have a race scheduled for Bruno in a month. Let's see what we can do for Snapple. We're going to click here. Show horse preferred races. She likes 11 furlongs, so 12 furlongs is what we're going to be looking at. And she is an older horse. We're probably going to want to go with a lighter quality race for now. And she is a 2-star, so we'll go with this one. We'll go with the very first race, which is in a week. You'll notice while looking at this screen, we selected this race because this is later. You'll notice that her condition is expected. It's expected condition. Right now it's supposed to be 100. Since she's racing, it drives that down. In a week, she'll be 20% lower, and then it will slowly build back up. We could schedule a second race here if we felt that her being at 89% is acceptable for racing. This looks like a really high-end race, if you ask me. It's got a really high entry fee. So we're probably, Elite Patriot Cup. Yeah, it looks like it's a big deal. The race names, by the way, randomly generated for the most part as well, but I think, maybe not. Maybe not. I feel like something in here does seem to change a little bit, but I'm going to hold off on that. Maybe it's the track name or something like that. There we go. I'm going to hold off. We're not going to reset her on that. And let's look at Bruno here real quick. You notice it did adjust to his favored distance, and kind of the same thing here. We could register him here at 89% in 3 months. So he takes a little longer to get back up to speed. It probably has to do with his stamina and his health and his training. If you recall, he's not a terribly intelligent horse. So all those are factors. We're going to look at the message. Notable 6-figure transaction for Snapple Trusting. Yep, it sure was. But we're going to move on. And this, okay. I haven't read through a lot of these. Reflecting the stable market, acquired for the stables representative said this purchase fits well within our long-term plans. B, Richards of Fortissimo Stables added. Okay, we're not Fortissimo Stables. We are Show Me Stables. So that's a mistake. I might send this to them a little later. Yeah, it keeps referring to him as Fortissimo Stables, doesn't it? Been a couple of things like that. These are little things, right? These are bugs that'll get worked out. As a developer, I can tell you a lot of times they're either easy or they're what the heck is going on. And so that kind of gets weird. This looks like it's probably an indexing issue or it's just pulling from the wrong list or something like that. I would expect this will get solved pretty quickly. We're going to delete that message. We're going to go to the next auction. Was that the same day? I'm not even sure. It could have been. It is possible for the auctions to be the same day. All right. Here is a horse Oh, this is the one we kind of looked at earlier, I think, that was up there, and I could have done the buyout for 1.1 million. Yes. No, maybe not. Whisper Wind Woods Tango. I don't remember it having Tango as its name. So American Quarter Horse looks really, really good here. We're going to bid on that one. Halcyon Luna, 9 years old. Oh, that one's 6 though, and it's a stallion. It's a boy horse. These are all stallions. Okay. Do we have any younger ones? We have a 2-year-old thoroughbred. Not horrible. What else we have? We have another 2-year-old down here. Maybe a little bit better. Quarter horse. Minstrel Nomad, 5-year-old. Stronger horse, Arabian. Let's bid on that one. We'll bid on Minstrel. Actually, a really reasonable buyout. The buyout is at the bottom end of their expected value. I kind of like that. We're going to buy that one out right away. As soon as they pop up, we're going to hit the buyout button. I'll take that risk. And then I thought there was one other 5. Lady Quest. Again, not too bad. Their buyout is above their market price. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, let's take a look at this one too. And we'll close that down. Okay, so I want to buy Minstrel Nomad immediately, though. That's the one I really, really want. The other 2, if we can get a good price. That first horse, I mean, it's going to go for a lot. I'm probably willing to spend $1 million on it. And one other thing we can do is we can auto set the bidding. Let's say we're willing to go up to $1 million. We're going to enable auto bid. We're willing to bid up to $1 million on that. Okay. We can skip the auction, and as long as its price doesn't go over $1 million, we will win the horse. We can also go to the auction, and I believe it will just do the bidding for us up to that point. So we're going to participate.
Oh, greatness is before you. Come on, let's go.
Lady Quest. This is not that first horse. This is the second one. And that's why I messed up the other one with its look. I think they don't come out in the order you expect.
Better luck next time. We got movement on the floor. Who'll respond? Shrewd move. Bidding war ends with
Here
a
we go.
buyout. And the bidding's active. Who's next? Yep, we got a new bid. Strong bid.
And I'm not going to go any higher than that. We'll let this one finish out. We could just skip. Let's go ahead and do that. All right. Does seem that when I hit sold, it always goes for the price or skip. It always sells for the price it's at. That's something to kind of pay attention to. Might not want that to happen. All right. This is the big boy that we said go up to $1 million. You'll notice we already bid. They bid. We bid. I haven't touched anything. That's all them. My mouse is up here. And we'll continue to do that up to $1 million.
Oh, the stakes are rising. Who's feeling lucky? Once, any takers? Come on, you're out, sir. Now come on, going twice.
Oh, there it goes. So now we would have to manually raise.
You better come on.
I'm willing to do that one more time. There we go.
Come on, can I get the next number? Come on, bargain hunters, where are you? Going twice, any bidder.
I think we got them.
Hey, we're all in, we're all done.
The next one will have a buyout, and it should be right about here. And I'm going to have my mouse ready and waiting. And as soon as it pops up, I'm going to click it. Because this is the one I really want. There we go. Done.
Incredible. Someone's met the buyout threshold. Oh, they ain't a better deal in the barn.
There we go. Now, I did that so somebody else wouldn't. We could have just bid on it and hopefully gotten it for less. But once it hits that price, it's done. And I have lost auctions because the AI, or whatever you want to call them, the computer, has chosen to outbid me in those cases. So Minstrel Nomad is ours. Yeah, we got both of them. Outstanding. So we're going to do this once again. We're going to come in here, training, and assign them trainers. We're going to go ahead and continue to give them to Talia, although I wouldn't mind maybe assigning one to the head trainer and seeing what that does. Maybe we'll do the other one. This is the expensive horse, right? So let's stay normal with that one. Here's Minstrel. Let's give Minstrel to Bridget. And otherwise, same stuff there. And let's go to races and get them scheduled. Registration. Minstrel. Minstrel could race in 2 days. He likes those 7 furlong races. Why not? Let's give it a try. We could wait a week. A little bit better payout. A little bit, about the same competition, actually. Let's go with that one. We'll race him in a week. We can look at the bottom of the list. If we're at 91% in 3 months, could do another one. We'll wait, though. We'll wait on that. Also, the furlongs don't line up perfectly. Then we're going to come to this horse. They like the 11 furlong races. So we're looking at 12. We have one of those in a week as well. This horse is stronger. This horse should win this one pretty easily. There's a part of me that kind of wants to hold out to here and see how it does against the higher quality, but I think almost I want the easy win. Sometimes you need to get some wins under your belt, and then you can start making some broader decisions, right? So we're going to go with that. Let's go to the next message. These will be the messages about purchasing the horses. So there's the first one. There's the second one. Happy with those purchases. We're still at we haven't spent $5 million yet, and we should start seeing some money rolling in now. That should start to happen a little more regularly. Heading to the next auction. Next race is tomorrow now, but here is the auction that they're all clamoring about. And these are all stallion. Oh no, this is mixed. Mixed. I see a mare in here, a filly, a young filly. Well, that's what a filly is. They're young. Here's a young thoroughbred. Okay. Notice the 11-year-old has a 138,000 buyout, much, much lower than what we were seeing with those other horses. This top-end horse, I don't see where that's going to be worth the money, but that's me. I don't know that I have the best eye for that. Let's take a look at Thunder Bayou. Kind of a middling horse. That wouldn't be horrible. How about Oakwood Violet? Lower end. Probably don't want to go with that. Another 2 up here, actually. Another one that's kind of on the weaker side. This is a yearling. I didn't catch that before. So, yeah. That will help with the price. And were there any 4s or there's a 3? We already looked at that one. I think we're going to skip this auction. We just picked up a couple of more horses. Let's give them a try and see what happens. So we're going to say skip. And now we're going to go to next race, which happens to be tomorrow. 3 of our horses are racing tomorrow, so we'll get to see how that works. Could be in the same races, actually. These 2, maybe not. Could be in the same race, maybe not. Next. Here we go. So we can skip to my race. It's the next race. And Minstrel Nomad is in here, and he is the only one. So if we have multiple horses, it would give us the ability to choose which one we wanted to control if we made that choice. We're not going to. We're going to go ahead and just watch this race. He is among the favorites. He's got the lowest odds here. He should do well. Why don't we go ahead and see what betting looks like? So we're going to go ahead and say show betting, and we are going to pick Minstrel. And we are going to say across the board, and I'm going to bet $1,000 across the board. So it's a $3,000 total bet. And the idea is across the board means I'm placing one bet for $1,000 to win, one to place, one to show. And if those all pay out, if he wins, all 3 pay out. If he comes in second, place and show pay out. And if he comes in third, just show pays out. I think there's a good chance he'll come in the top 3. More importantly is the prize money he wins if he comes in the top 5. Here are the bonuses. You'll notice the amount they'll make. 50,000 for the win, 25 show. I think they got that backwards. This should be place. Then show, 4th and 5th. Yeah, win, place, show. These are backwards. All right, another thing to put on our list and send to them, but otherwise, let's come down here. When you make your bet, you put the horse in here you want. You have to hit add. It moves it here, and then you say submit, and it will submit all your bets at once. The other thing you can do is you can pick multiple horses. We can pick Minstrel, and we can pick this guy, and we can do an exacta. And we can box the exacta. What that does is it says these horses will come in first and second. The box means in either order. An exacta would be I have to get a Minstrel Nomad first, then Tumbleweed second. Now, these are much more riskier bets, as you can imagine. We're only going to bet $100 on this. Why does it have a box? Oh, my bad. Let me clear that out. Let's clear that out. Clear this out. We do want this bet made. It's already done. We're going to pick Minstrel, and we're going to pick Tumbleweed. There we go. We're going to do an exacta for $100. If I do the exacta box, it's $200. I don't know why it said $700 or $800 there. That was weird. That was definitely a mistake. $200 makes sense. So what it is they have to come in first and second, either order with the box. We could add more horses, and then you're basically saying 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 1, 2 and 3, 3 and 1, 3 and 2. So it'd be $600 if we added a third horse. I don't mind doing that to demonstrate it. There is one other horse that looks really strong here. This one, actually, there are a couple. This one looks pretty good too. But I think if we're going strictly on potential and current ability, we would pick Rainstorm. If we add Rainstorm and we do the box, $600 because there's 6 combinations to make that happen. And this is a trifecta. They would this is a 1, 2, 3 bet. My apologies. This becomes a 1, 2, 3 with those horses. And $600 is the ways that would happen. So the problem here is if I only want to do the exacta, which is kind of what I want to do, we would only have to have first and second. This one we're adding an entire third horse that would have to come in. Don't want to do that. We're going to do the exacta box. They can come in either order. And we'll see if we win afterwards. There we go, and we'll submit that one. We now have placed bets. Let's view the race. Here comes the race. And Minstrel is in the first slot. I like when that happens. And not a bad break. Oh, he's going though, isn't he? And we can see who the other one is in our exacta. It is Tumbleweed, horse number 5, and he has fallen way off. Oh, he's coming up though. We need him to come in second if we're going to win that exacta though. And let's see, are we going to hold on? 69.51. We should outlast this horse. I do wish they would make that a little less obvious. It seems to me that I can kind of tell now. It's possible the jockey could screw up, but if I were running the horse, I could tell that I would win because of the staminas. And where is Tumbleweed is falling off? Yeah, he's a full furlong behind us. We're not going to win the exacta, folks. Actually, Scorch Brand is the other one that was in single digits for its odds. I thought about grabbing that one as well, but I didn't. And I don't remember what the other one ended up being that we skipped out on. Yeah, there we go. Well, race is almost over. And we won. Okay, so 2 races, 2 wins. I know I'm making it look easy. I'm buying good horses, and that's really what it comes down to. You don't always win. If you are, you might want to try a different tack. Like I refuse to buy horses that aren't, or that are greater than 1 star, or something like that. And then you could try to build your stable over time into a winning stable. That can be an interesting challenge to take on. For now, I'll take the wins. So we won here and we won some bets. So that looks good. My pocketbook went up, as you can see here, because I was betting out of my pocket. And we'll continue. And we have another race yet. In fact, we might have two more. That was the first one. The second one, we're going to do a skip to my race. There we go. And we do have two horses in this one. We have Snapple and we have Whispering Wood Tango, who is definitely not a favorite. That would be more of a long shot. So we'll go ahead and run this race. I'm not going to bet on it. We will do the view race. And we're going to watch Snapple. They have a better chance. Yeah, it broke well. Oof, that maybe isn't always great. 77. Oh, wow. Snapple's going to run away with this. This isn't even going to be a competition. Whispering's coming up. We'll watch Whispering here. And let's see. 21%, 52. Yeah. We're going to have a 1-3 finish. I don't know what Noble Midnight's going to look like here. Should be in between the two. Doing pretty well. Snapple's probably still like in the 80s. Oh, 95. Yeah. This race is already over. The horses just don't know it yet. So we're going to go ahead and speed that one up. And yeah, I think they have some work to do here. I can't imagine a horse being a half a mile behind in a, 2.5 mile race. That doesn't seem sustainable from a racing perspective. So, and I can't imagine that was actually even correct. Yeah, let's go ahead and continue. We'll look at the results. Was it a 9 furlong? 12 furlongs. 12 furlong race. And the difference from top to bottom was way over a minute. So half a mile. That doesn't feel normal to me, at least not to races I've been to. So I don't know. I think that might be something they'll have to work on a little bit. Their race logic needs to clean up just a touch. But that's okay. The game has been improving and it is looking really, really great. I'm really happy for them. Let's hit continue. By the way, we took money twice here. 52,000 total because of our two horses. And solid start from Snapple. Felt comfortable. Oh, this is a bug. Same jockey on both horses. That shouldn't happen. It should have put in a reserve on one of the two horses, but when I scheduled, you don't see that if you don't know if you're in the same race necessarily. With all the names of the races being very, very similar, I think they're going to need to figure out something for that to make sure that you don't double book your jockey. We'll go ahead and continue. We've now seen all of our horses race, so we're going to skip ahead. And there we go. All right. Now, one thing I can do is I can look at myself, Beach, and I can see that we've won 147,000 under my management of our stable. That's really good. That's really good. I'm happy with that. So far, we're doing well there. We can see that we're not being paid, which that's kind of funny to me, but okay. Training is not set up. Statistics aren't set up, but socially we can see, we have a good rapport with our horses, the ones that are horses, these 4. Looks like some of the people working for us. I think Wyatt Morris is one of our folks. Raquel is our jockey. She likes working with us. We don't have any negatives here, and that's good. So, and then we see how and why we might have the relationship we do. Okay. One other thing we'll do here real quick is I will show you how breeding of the horses is meant to work. We're going to come in here. We'll go to breeding, and I prefer to work from the table again. This is again newer and it's fantastic. This is Bruno, and we can hit a button here and he'll go try to find somebody to match with. We could do these two horses, I guess. I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's go to the table and let's find our mare. That's Snapple. We click on Snapple and we can have her mated with any of these horses. This is horses outside of our stable. And there's a charge for for what it'll cost. And I'm not seeing where that charge is right now. Where'd it go? That's not what I meant to do. I guess did I select one? I don't know if I did. Okay, there we go. So we can, there we go. Here's the breeding fee. The breeding fees are pretty low if you ask me. They're all under 10,000. This one will breed for free, for instance. So we could click on potential, because potential is probably what we want to try to max out. This superstar horse we can breed for $5,000. I don't know. That feels off. I think that's something they're going to have to work on. And I'm not sure why he's listed twice. We'll pick this one. And we will pick Snapple. Okay, why didn't that work? There we go. Try to make a foal for 5,000. And it was successful. And we can see what the horse might, its name is going to be Minimalist Thomas. And then if we waited, we would see that the horse would come along. It'll have its own DNA. And the DNA is basically a mix of the mom and the dad, as you might imagine. So we can also look at studying out a horse. Now, you can unlock what the DNA for the horse would look like based on the mother and father. That could be a heck of a horse. You don't see health in here. Always auto unlock. No, we don't need to do that just yet. I don't see the health of the horse listed here. I thought that was one of them that shows up, but you don't see that out front. But what we could do is try to make a foal. That one was successful as well. I have been unsuccessful. I'm just having a really good run of luck here in this particular playthrough. I think I'm going to have to save this one off. Anyway, there you have it. And we were able to do that. So the horses will be born eventually, right? It's not right now. We don't see anything up here that tells us when. We do know that one of the advances is advanced to next foal. There's our first place announcements. We will get an announcement when a horse is born, but we could say next foal birth, and it doesn't show up. That would be quite a bit of time. We'd be skipping ahead. So we're going to hold off on that. When the horse is born, they do not race immediately. There is time to train them up, things like that, as you would expect. And here are the horses we are scouting. That's interesting. Here's how much we know about each of those horses. And I think you can have a lot of fun with just even doing the scouting and finding the right mixes and just breeding and seeing how well you can come up with good DNA strands amongst your stable. That is really the whole purpose of it, right? Breed the stronger horses so that they win races. Okay. Well, folks, I think that gives you a good feel for this particular game, Horse Racing Manager from, I'm going to try to get it right this time. Sorry, folks. Sheep Meadow Road Games. There we go. Sheep Meadow Road Games. I think it was, oh my goodness, I think I said Finland earlier and it's Norway, or it's Norway and I said Finland. One of the two. I don't remember. Anyway, sorry guys, but the game is available on Steam. It is on discount right now. At least it was last night when I last looked at it, and you can get it for 15% off. Please give it a look-see. There may be a demo available to it as well. There had been one in the past. The game is very different from the previous demo I saw. I don't know if they still have it up there. It does give you a flavor for how the game works, though, and you might enjoy that as well. There you have it. I do want to thank you for your time in joining me. If you want to see more games like Horse Racing Manager, let me know. Leave some comments. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Never an obligation, but I do greatly appreciate it when you do that. And I do love to hear from folks. Let me know what you think of the game, what I could do differently to be a better player, things like that. Always, always welcome. Again, thank you. And until next time, fair travels.